So I love this piece very much.
Disneyland is supposed to be the happiest place on earth, but for the people who work there, it's not so simple. The problem is that Anaheim has become one of the country's most expensive places to live, and wages haven't kept up. Workers say they know exactly where to put the blame: Disney, the city's largest employer.
We have been in contract negotiations with Disney in the past. In fact, the last negotiations included a protracted dispute of 4 years, where we held work stoppages, hunger strikes, and so we saw that it is very difficult to bargain with Disney. And in fact, we've seen our wages depressed.
And that's because wages aren't keeping up with inflation?
That's correct. But the political power that they have and the political will that they had was very difficult for us to beat them back.
And so our new total is $10,907.
Negotiations broke down in February when Disney offered a 3% raise over 3 years and the union walked away. So now they've taken a different tack, collecting signatures for a ballot measure that would raise the minimum wage for the city's hospitality workers at Anaheim's largest resorts to $15 an hour, and would then increase wages annually until they reached $18 an hour by 2022. Glendana Shevlin was one of a couple dozen union members knocking on doors throughout the city last month.
My name's Glendana, and I'm a Disney worker. Oh, yeah, the top part. Yeah. It basically, that's what it... So you know how they take a lot of tax-free money from... I
think you need to change your pen.
I have another pen, sweetie. I'm always equipped.
I turned 30 years at Disneyland this year, and one of my longtime guests gave it to me as a gift. So I love this piece very much. But I work in this beautiful room up in the Venture Tower, and the windows up at the Venture Tower that overlook downtown Disney, and we have the best view in town of fireworks.
What do you love about your job?
I work the 2 to 10 shift, so we have 4 meal periods that happen. We have breakfast in the morning. We put out a beautiful spread like salmon, prosciutto, Mickey waffles, and then in the afternoon we serve 3 appetizers, such things like mushroom ratatouille, which I guess is really good. So it's like a party every night in my own house.
Disney works hard to keep the park magical for visitors and to keep the company profitable for shareholders. At 58 years old, Glendana feels the magic too. And what Disney offers her is a job. But at $15.70 per hour, she says they don't pay her enough to live in Orange County. She rents a room from a friend and keeps the rest of her possessions in a storage locker.
It's the only bad thing about not having your own refrigerator, because you have to hunt around for everything.
Now, Sally likes to share some of my lunch. Yeah, she's talking to me.
Do you ever find yourself hungry at work?
Yes.
And is it tough because you're serving food?
Yes. It's like you want to cheat and eat the food, but we're not allowed to do so. I just say to myself that lunch will be soon, and then I'll do what I have to do.
Disney, which is an investor in Vice, wouldn't speak to us on camera. But in a statement, the company said its starting rates range from $11 an hour to $17.75 an hour, amounts in line with market averages. A union-sponsored survey of Disney's employees found that among 5,000 respondents, nearly 80% of them said they are proud of their work, but 73% say they don't earn enough to cover basic expenses. But Disney says the survey was unscientific and not representative of its 30,000-member workforce. The company is co-sponsoring the opposition to the ballot measure through a group called No on the Anaheim Job Killer Initiative, which is a project of the Anaheim Chamber of Commerce.
I can tell you, there's groups that are looking at Anaheim. They think twice before investing in the marketplace when there's challenges like this.
So this bill is like a big sign saying do not do business in Anaheim, basically.
Absolutely. If this becomes the policy of how Anaheim operates, it's a very dangerous precedent, a huge, huge slippery slope for us to attract investment.
What about wages, though? Because essentially for a lot of people, they've seen maybe a 40-cent or 50-cent raise since the recession, basically. Can you understand if they were for 20 years rolling along and then hit the stagnation, how that feels like they're losing money?
When somebody's in a position and decide to stay in the position, nobody locks them in that job. So if they're unhappy with the progress they're making in that specific job or in that company, their choice is to go look in the free market and find another job. And for those that want to improve, reach out to your company, say, I'd like more training, I'd like the
But
opportunity.
if they're 58 years old, what kind of training are they going to get?
Well, that's a decision that they've made. And so where is it the responsibility of the employer to cover that? Their job is to provide a job.
Disney offers Disney University classes to thousands of its employees, which the company says makes them more marketable job candidates. Glendana tried management training more than a decade ago. At her age, she isn't interested in more classes, and she doesn't have time to wait for better wages in future contracts. What do you say when they say just change jobs, just do something else?
Well, I have tried. Right now, I don't think it's just Disney. I think it's all over. Corporations are not paying rent, food, everything else is going up, but wages are not. So I have tried to look for another job, but I have fun at my job. I love my job, and I have long-term relationships there. 30 years I given Disney smiles and made the magic. Why should I change?